light novel or visual K? I'm a high school boy and a successful light novel author, but I'm being strangled by a female classmate who's a voice actress and is younger than me.
I'm going light novel.
Yeah.
Sake in hand, we'll mispronounce stuff because we're two gaijins and words are tough.
Welcome back to Sake This. My name is Josh. I'm here with my friend Justin. How you going?
Yeah, good. I am Justin.
He is Justin. Once again, I am Josh. We're here to talk about Japan. We've got some news coming, some listener letters. We've got a game to play for Guesstimation Japan. But as we've been doing, might just jump straight in with some headlines, and Justin's going to throw a few at me today, and we'll see what we think of this Japanese news.
Yeah, and these are just news articles that I've found on the web, and they're always a little bit insane. So let's go there. Yeah, let's just read some headlines, and I've got two real headlines and I've made up a fake one, which should sound real in comparison to the other ones.
Yes.
So the first one I've got, the headline: Japanese researchers recreate the newborn baby scent in a bottle of perfume.
Okay.
Yes, they recreated the newborn baby scent. Newborn, like newborn.
Obviously, we're touching on potentially some cultural differences around the birthing process potentially here, but is that a scent that people verbalize at the time that should be captured?
My memories of childbirth, I wouldn't want that in a bottle.
No.
Okay, the second headline: Tokyo Cafe lets you rent a grandmother to scold you for life mistakes while serving homemade miso soup.
God, I hope that's real. That one I really like.
Scold you for life mistakes while serving homemade miso soup.
Pretty much at every point in my life, every time I've been yelled at, if soup has come at any point after that, I've forgiven that person and wanted more scolding.
Yeah. It's the chucking a sickie from school type mentality of your parents are going to be angry. They're going to be like, you're not sick, but they're still going to bring you soup.
And I just have a feeling that particularly Japanese grandmothers would be no BS. They're not going to be impressed by you, just the fact that you're young, and if you're being kind to them and being nice, they're just going to scold.
Yeah. Especially if you're there for the experience to get scolded.
Yes. And you're not getting that miso until the scolding is complete.
Okay, and the third headline: New service lets you get calls from anime magical girls to say goodnight and that they love you.
I think I want that even more than the grandma thing. Okay, can I, as we have done in the last few episodes, hopefully everyone's playing along here and they're going to have a guess which they think in their minds might be the ones that are real and one that is not real. That one, I think that one's real, the last one. I think the grandma one is real. And I think the first one's not.
Unfortunately for you, the grandmother one is fake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You nailed the brief because that felt the most real and the one I want the most.
Yeah, it seems like, yeah. Especially as a tourist going to Japan, I'd pay for that way more than a cat cafe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Even a maid cafe. It's just, like, no, just
get rid of the cats,
granny.
Get more grandma in here. Less feline. Yeah, more old person.
It'd be funny because, like, in the main attraction areas for like maid cafes, stuff like this, there's maids out on the street trying to bring you into the cafes. Like trying to, hustle you in. It would be funny just to have grandmothers out in the streets.
We promise no cats.
Yeah, and it's just like, get in. Like, get in here. You have made mistakes in your life. Get in here. You need to learn a lesson type vibe.
I'm excited by that whole premise. Can I ask for just that last article?
Yep.
When I think really about which one, when you first started reading them, felt the least real. It was probably the last one, but I thought that's too crazy. It has to be real.
Yep.
And turned out that there is some truth to it. That's the one I'm most interested in. And as we've done the last few episodes, the person hearing them gets to decide which one they want to hear more about.
Yep.
Can we dig in a little bit on that last one?
Yeah.
Sorry, can we just get the headline one more time of that last article?
New service lets you get calls from anime magical girls to say goodnight and that they love you.
Okay. So when you first said it, I thought you said news service.
Oh, news service.
So someone gives you the news.
No, this is just a new service.
New service. Okay,
yes.
that makes slightly more sense.
So I'm unaware exactly if it's a company name or the brand that's doing this thing, but I've read Moshi Moshi Pretty Cure Phone is like an app where fans of the magical girl anime Pretty Cure or Precure can receive virtual phone calls from the show's characters. Like users choose a character from the current You and Idol Pretty Cure cast and select a mood, such as like wanting praise, encouragement, cheering up. And then the character calls with pre-recorded lines voiced by the official voice actresses. This is not AI. This is recorded ahead of time. Yeah, official voice actresses, like including wake up and good night messages, and even affectionate phrases like "I love you." And it seems like it's 330 yen a month for calls from one chosen character, or 660 yen a month from calls from all 5 characters, plus a cafe mini game.
Okay, that's
that's the full brief of it all, which is it's different, but a good thing, like the anime, the thing that it's from is very targeted at young girls.
okay.
But obviously there's some speculation that the real target of Pretty Cure's is Pretty Cure's adult male fan base.
The good morning people.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how to feel about that. It's like
No, well, I'm not familiar with that particular.
neither.
Yeah.
Neither, and I after reading this don't really want to be.
No. Makes me think though which franchise I would choose if I had to have voice actors from a show communicate to me. Not being familiar with that, I'm going to say no to that. I'm thinking I would love for Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z to call me so I can put him onto my dad. If I'm ever having a disagreement with dad, I could get Vegeta to voice my opinion to my father.
Yep.
That would be perfect for me.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
So when you're more au fait with the anime world, the manga world, is there a character that you can see yourself receiving calls from that's worth the 300 yen a month or whatever, or per call or whatever that was?
I don't think I would ever pay money to receive calls by pre-recorded lines.
Yes.
Because I would just look up the pre-recorded lines if that was how desperate I was. But I wouldn't be like anime or like anything like that. That wouldn't be my choice. Like I would be like, I'd avoid like Mickey Mouse maybe.
Okay, so classic
like something
stuff.
like that's going to be funny to receive, I guess. Not saying that there's not some animes that would be like Vegeta's a good pick, obviously, but
that's really because when I think about characters, even outside of anime, manga, all that world, his actual voice sound is distinctive.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be someone distinctive. But you're right. What's to stop people from getting the 10 or 12 favorite lines of dialogue or inspiration or whatever that they want and just sending them to their phone and playing them back to themselves?
Yeah, I think it's the call experience. Like it's just having someone
receiving
call.
a
Yeah.
That just shows a little bit of cultural difference too, because even if I paid for a service to call me, if I saw someone calling me, I would be, no, I'm not picking that up.
At the same time, 330 yen a month, that's like nothing. You're paying, it's not like they're paying a lot of money for it. It's just a sum for the convenience almost of having something call you and just playing the sound that you want it to. So I guess if that's what you're into.
Well, if I can get that through a VPN into Australia and they can talk to my landlord, I'm happy. I'll pay the 330.
Yeah, just give them the wrong number.
Yeah, yeah.
That's every time it's just like good, like you
Oh,
call this person good night,
yes.
and you get to set the mood as well.
I know that the Japanese people are world renowned for being polite a lot of the time, but redirecting it to someone you don't like seems like more fun than getting the call yourself.
Yes, 100%. Especially if it's Vegeta.
Yeah. Just a terrifying voice.
Yeah. I will say that first headline, it did stick out to me because that's true. And all I could find on it, like it was like an actual thing that happened or has happened, and it was researchers collected scent samples from the heads of about 20 newborn babies, from which they identified 37 scent components, and then they tested and recreated that scent. And yeah, that's I don't even know. Like, yeah, obviously newborn baby, it's not fresh out of the womb because that would just not. Yeah.
Is it wrong that that's when I thought that the scent would be most intense?
Oh, it would be. Yeah, for sure.
So we're talking about really that the connection between parent-child and maybe the combined pheromone.
Yeah, so that's all. That's mainly
it's
what
being
it is.
triggered, and most of it's coming out of the baby's head. How many babies were tested to find out if it's shoulder or head or lower thigh, or how do they? So they've isolated the head as the main source of the scent. Yeah,
but it's also only 20 newborn babies. So, but then on further like study of it, like from what I read in the, it's they say it's a culmination of 6 years of pheromone inspired research. 6 years, only 20 babies.
It's a lot of time with each baby.
Yeah. Yes.
Just some angry researcher just run the data again. I want to make sure it's definitely the head.
Well, it probably shows that Japan does have like the population crisis.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening was not enough newborn babies to even get the scent right. Yeah. This is all of the babies. It's not only 20. This is all 20.
Yeah.
For our next segment, we've got Guesstimation Japan, which today I am going to ask Josh different titles from different topics. Today I've got either light novel, which is similar to like a manga, really. I don't know the exact definition of a light novel, but I know a lot of light novels also get made into anime.
Okay.
It's kind of got that same feel.
Right.
So it's light novel or visual kei, which is like Japanese rock with more of like a intense aesthetic.
Yes, yeah.
A bit eccentric maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the two categories. I know you're probably not familiar with either of them really.
Second one a little bit, first one
Okay.
I won't claim to be an expert.
So yeah, I've just got titles of one of either of those. You've got to tell me after I tell you the title if it either belongs to a light novel or a visual kei. So the first one, The Devil is a Part-Timer.
I'm going light novel.
That is a light novel. Second, Funeral Parade of Cherry Blossoms.
Okay.
That is a K.
That's a good name. Just full stop. I like that name.
3, Black Paper Moon That Knows My Name.
If that is the name of a musical act, that's wild. So I'm going to go light novel.
It is a visual K.
Okay, right.
Well, it's the song there. Like, yeah.
Okay, song name, right. Okay, that makes more sense. So, yep.
Number 4, Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
I'm going to say no.
No opinions. We're not doing opinions here.
Yeah, okay, so that is a light novel.
That is a light novel. Number 5, Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, Aren't They?
Okay.
That is a light novel.
Oh, God.
I don't know how to pronounce this one exactly, but The Pet Girl of Sakurosai.
The Pet Girl of Sakura. That is
Sakura
a
So.
light novel.
That is a light novel. Number 7, Rainy Death Parade Under a Neon Sky.
Okay.
That is okay.
Yes. Yes.
Number 8, The Faraway Paladin.
Tremendous name. I'm going with K.
That is a light novel.
Ah.
Number 9, Crimson Butterfly Sleeping in the Void.
Novel?
That is a visual K.
Visual K.
And we've got 10, the lucky last. Do you love your mum and her 2-hit multi-target attacks?
Visual.
That is a light novel.
Oh, right. Crap.
Do you love your mum and her 2-hit multi-target attacks? Multi-target attacks.
Wow. Okay.
With a question mark at the end, yeah, of course.
The fact that a lot of those names are either of those things is wild. There was one in the middle about children from another place, or
Problem children are coming from another world, aren't they?
oh gosh, that sounds something I would read on Facebook just from an average old person.
Yeah, true. I do love, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Because that is surprisingly popular.
That was popular.
That's surprise. Like I've heard that before. Like it's I've seen that one around, and it's really one that it very well could be a song title of
I think that one, which was that one? That was a
light novel.
That was a light novel. That was, I think I don't know if I got that one right or wrong, but hearing it again, I think it should have been the name of a song.
Yeah, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
Yeah.
You're like, should there be a story about that?
Yeah, I think that because
there is.
a song can only give you so much detail.
Yes. And a lot of songs and stuff like that, it's just like, it's almost clickbait for it. It's like you're talking, the dungeon is a metaphor or whatever, but this is actually a story about someone asking if it is wrong.
Yeah.
And then, because they like picking up girls in dungeons.
So, just for context, and you may not have any, is this person going to dungeons to try and pick up, finding a way into dungeons, or they're in a dungeon and that's the only place they can find love? Because if you're going out thinking we're going to hit the nightclub, then we're going to go get a kebab, or we're going to go get sushi or whatever you're doing, and then we're going to a dungeon.
Yep.
I just need some more details here.
So I have Googled it to get more information of it. And I will say, like, it's a light novel, but it has been adapted into an anime. That's the kind of popularity it's sitting at. And I hate to admit it, but I have watched some of this anime. After seeing the picture, I'm like, oh, I know those characters.
I know that dungeon.
Yeah, I know that dungeon. So yeah, of course, it is somewhat popular. And the premise of it, like the summary, is it's a light novel series following Belle Cranell, I think that's right, a young adventurer who aspires to become stronger and catch the eye of the swordswoman Ace.
So
a bit clickbaity, but then also not, because that happens.
So Ace is someone who's imprisoned in a dungeon and he's trying to get to her, or Ace is the torturer of the dungeon and that's the only place he can get some time with torturess, is to get himself in the dungeon. Those aren't questions as much as any potential string is interesting.
Yeah. I didn't. Yeah, so it is good because it is interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it garnered a bit of attention.
I wouldn't have thought Googling that would help me feel more comfortable with the idea, but I do.
Yeah. I just haven't watched. I can't remember it much. I know I started and was just like,
Yeah. So
not enough dungeon girls for me.
Not that they're. I was expecting more women, less dungeon.
More dungeon.
More dungeon as well.
More dungeon.
More of everything.
Yeah, more picking up, more every. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely the picking up part. That was completely negated by the lack of dungeon and or women. Just before we move on to our listener letter for the week, can we just get a quick clarification on how we opened today's episode? Because that was also...
Yeah, so I brought a 11th option I looked up what is the craziest light novel name, or what are some of them. And the first one I landed on is, I'm a high school boy and a successful light novel author, but I'm being strangled by a female classmate who's a voice actress and is younger than me. Which, of course, is a light novel.
Of course.
But why is it a light novel? Like, what?
I think I'd prefer that to be a song, just so if they have to introduce the song before they play it,
Yep.
that they've got to say all that.
And it's like, because I've searched it, it's on Reddit, and like people are like, actually surprisingly good. It's like,
Okay.
I guess
The voiceover is really impressive.
Yeah. I read this. It was actually quite good, ? In a very weird way. It gives you a lot of insight into the light novel industry wrapped in a nice mystery. Can be a bit boring, though.
Oh, wow, with that title? What more do you want, mate? He probably wants that and the dungeon thing
Yeah,
all in one.
yeah.
And maybe the grandma feeding him soup and yelling at him.
Yes.
So we'll move on with some listener letters. We've actually got 2 today, Justin. So 2 listener letters. These are stories from our listeners from their experiences in Japan. Travel stories. The first one is from BR from Australia. And BR said, I was in a bathroom in Tokyo and the toilet had a whole control panel. It was like a car wash for your backside. But among the plethora of options, there was no button to actually flush. So I had to call the concierge to find out how to flush the toilet. This is good stuff, BR. The concierge team remained polite, impeccably polite and professional throughout. My favourite toilet function in Japan was definitely the wash and blow dry. My butt was coming out of there looking like Chewbacca. Okay, that's the best listener letter so far. Thank
I
you,
will say, because I'm reading these stories off my phone, you've got a printout in front of you. I've got it in my, like, just on my phone, quite large text. Obviously, the phone is much thinner width-wise than yours, and as I'm reading along that, I go, it just says, my favorite toilet function in Japan was definitely the wash and blow. And I'm like, hey, that also sounds like my favorite.
Yeah. maybe that's code from BR there.
Yeah.
So I like that you said Chewbacca because that's not the first character I would think for a backside related blow, like wash and blow dry. But
Yeah. And I wonder if he made the same noises as Chewbacca into that toilet with no flush.
I think you should have worked harder and possibly worked out a Pokemon character that's got a small afro instead of Chewbacca.
Yes.
So our second letter from today, this one is slightly longer. There's 2 stories here. This is from AH, also from Australia. On my second trip to Japan, I was out drinking with a friend who was there teaching English at the time. And while we were walking through Roppongi, we had to stop and relieve ourselves. We stopped in what we thought was a random garden. It turned out to be some kind of embassy, and we tripped an alarm when we walked up the driveway. A security guard came running at us shouting, Koen Janai, which my friend translated. The guard was yelling, this is not a park. So that's part 1 of the story. This is not a park. Does that mean that grass is a dangerous place to sit down in Japan? Are people assuming that if it's a green, grassy area, that's a place where someone might have went to the bathroom? Or is this because Roppongi is famous for being the nightlife sort of district? Is it the fact that essentially this is private property, get out?
Yeah, I believe that's the case. Yeah, especially if it's an embassy. It's like,
yes,
probably don't piss on another country's soil. There is, like, I do love the sentence, like, we had to stop and relieve ourselves, because, I mean, that's up to the listener's interpretation of what that exactly means.
Yes.
And that could be why he was yelling out. So
AH continues, on a subsequent trip to Japan, myself and a few friends got to see Marilyn Manson at Heaven and Hell Festival in Osaka. Manson was drunk and not happy with the small crowd. He had his back to the audience for most of the show. Dio, so Ronnie James Dio, and Black Sabbath were the saviors of heaven and hell. AH continues with, Japan is like heaven on earth to me. The shopping, the food, the people. It's so clean and safe. It's nice to feel anonymous walking around and doing your own thing. I'll come back to that. You could go out to a bar or a restaurant on your own and just chill out and be yourself. So those things all sound great. But I've got a feeling that AH may walk around pretty anonymous most of the time. Thanks for writing in though, AH. We appreciate it.
I don't want to make any judgment on what color of this guy's skin he may have, but I am going to, and I assume he's white, and it's not really anonymous because you're in a country not filled with white men.
Yes.
Well, it's starting to probably be that way, but yes.
I was thinking if anywhere in the world, it might have been that exact moment where he was standing out. But
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's like
exactly.
I'm only saying the judgment on his color of skin because I believe I know what AH stands for, the person behind that story. That's why
I guess it's a place of fascination for lots of people. Obviously, we even know some of them personally. So
especially white men.
Yes, particularly white men that may or may not like heavy metal. So this AH is probably the AH you're thinking about.
And he is an AH.
He is. Absolutely. But keep writing in AH and make sure your friends do too. You can check out the show notes to find out how to send in your listener letter, whether it's a story. It doesn't have to be a funny story necessarily, a travel story, or your experience in Japan or your thoughts about the place. Just let us know.
Yeah.
So you'll find those in the show notes. But give
us content.
Yes, give us content. It's so much easier if you just write the show for us, guys.
If you got any more guesstimations.
So we're going to finish up today, as we have the last few episodes, by just covering some reviews of things Japanese, roasting some reviews, so to speak. And how this show came to be was in part because I was really obsessed with the audiobook of Abroad in Japan by Chris Broad. He's a British author and narrator and YouTuber who has been living in Japan, I think, for 13 or 14 years now. And I was listening to that at the time. I've kind of formulated the show, knew that Justin had an interest in the country. So what I wanted to do today was actually look at some of the reviews across the board from 1 star through to 5 star of the Abroad in Japan audiobook. So
yeah. Oh, so we've got from 1 star to 5 star. So
yes.
we're ramping up.
We're ramping up. So I might just kick this one off with the 1 star, Justin. Yep. So this is a 1 star from Honey Black Moss. I'm pretty sure this was on Goodreads. I feel bad. I just can't get into it. I've tried twice and I just can't. See, this is actually a pretty positive and I think honest 1 star review. A lot of the 1 star reviews for this were, I loved the bit in the start of the book about travel, but all the stuff about YouTube's lame, so you suck. So they liked 50% of the book massively and didn't like when he talked about becoming a professional YouTuber.
No, so they didn't like his own story.
They basically wanted a travel advice book.
Yeah, right, yep.
And he talked about being a teacher in Japan, the troubles that led to and how he had to get used to the culture and the language. And then when he moved on and became successful in the country, people were trashing him for it.
Yeah, I understand the criticism if you're very invested in the start of the book and then it's like, oh, I don't really care about this, but it's still, you just enjoyed the start of the book. Like,
so maybe a 2 star?
Because it's not like a book with an ending, it's, well, you can still 5 star it and whatever.
It's not like they didn't like
enjoyable.
The twist. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But there could be a light novel name about the book.
Yeah. So the reason I wanted that one in there, though, is I think it's honest. It was short, but honey, if you ever hear this, you nailed it in the first part of the first sentence. I just can't. If you're going to give something a 1 star and you've got I just can't, I'm only going to read that one way. You only need those 3 words. I just can't.
Yeah. I like the honesty, and it's not like one of the reviews that are like, the book was amazing, but it arrived damaged.
Yeah,
or something like even though it's was this
I had trouble downloading the PDF.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a good, honest review, and I hear you. But next up, we've got 2 stars from Katerina. Broad's writing style is engaging and humorous, making the book an easy and enjoyable read. 2 stars, by the way. Let's carry on. While Abroad in Japan provides a lighthearted account of Broad's experiences, it fails to delve deeper into the complexities of Japanese culture or the challenges of living abroad. The anecdotes, though amusing, often feel disjointed and lack a cohesive narrative. Yeah, sure. Whatever.
Yeah, that's how I felt about that one.
Yeah, cool. You have your opinion. You go.
It felt like that review is his book writ large. The first half of it was positive and enjoyable.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The second half lacked any kind of narrative flow.
Cohesive narrative is just not. Yeah, it's like because at the start I'm like reading it. It's like, oh, this is like just a reminder to myself. This is a 2-star review. This is not a 5-star. But it's like, yeah, it's engaging and humorous. If it's engaging and humorous, there's just no. It should never be under 3 stars. I feel like in that situation, just having those words there, it's like it should never. Whatever, Katarina. Is
Katarina putting a bit too much on Chris Broad, the author, and in this case, the narrator of the audiobook, when she says complexities of Japanese culture or the challenges of living abroad?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shouldn't you go to a scholar for that?
Yes, exactly. onto 3. I might do the 3 stars as well. From Catherine Armstrong. 3 stars. Took me a while to get into because the writing style makes it seem like it's written by a teenager. If I was an editor, I would have had notes. And fun and interesting read nonetheless, or nevertheless. So that's a way, like that sounds worse than the 2-star, but
it does.
Yeah.
It's way less positive, but I found it strange. If I was an editor, I would have had notes, no punctuation.
If I was an editor, I would have had notes.
No full stop.
And then starts the next sentence with "and fun."
And fun.
And fun. A-N, fun, and interesting read, nevertheless.
No full stop.
Well, at least they don't need to prove that they're not an editor.
Yeah, that's correct.
I do love statements like that. If I was an editor, I would have had notes.
Yes.
But you're not.
If I was an editor, Chris wouldn't have hired me.
Yeah, it's like, it just, yeah, cool.
I thought
you're not. That's simple. Like you're not that person. So why comment?
I think that Catherine's trying to potentially emulate what some of the other comments were saying in the 3-star range, that Chris Broad had this way of, he would start the sentence off sounding like a normal person, then he would go into that snide kind of silly voice that he does on his YouTube channel, and then he would filter out at the end of the sentence almost to nothing, like he's going like this.
I wonder how much, like if you appreciate the book more, if you understand his persona
Massively,
within
yes.
YouTube, like all that type of stuff.
I can speak to that because the first time I heard the book, I thought it was presented almost like a caricature of a person.
Yep.
Then I started getting into the section about YouTube. I discovered that I liked him more on YouTube really than I did maybe as an author at that point. As soon as I started listening to the book, I was like, oh, that's why this is like that, because he has a way of presenting to the world that people already like. I love how people criticize people for already having some audience.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's what all of these negative ones are really about.
Yeah.
Is that I don't get to travel and tell stories about it, but he does.
You go ahead with the next one.
I will.
This one, I've read ahead, and this one is great.
So our 4-star review is from Anna. Anna said, "This was great. Review to come within the next few days."
A bit of backstory behind that. The review was posted January 12th, 2024. And that is the full review.
That's the full review. I went searching. I was thinking, okay, this person seems all right, actually. I want to hear their full review. And no review. And it was done. That's it.
Right.
But
they got lost within the words of the book. Didn't come back.
My first thought was, because these are Goodreads reviews, that maybe Anna doesn't review much, and her intention was just, I've never reviewed a book before. I'm going to put this in now because I've just read it, and I'm going to come back and do my first review. I'm a regular Goodreads user, and Anna's done a lot more reviews than me. I
Yep.
think she was
Yeah,
up
right.
around the 200 review sort of range.
130, it says. On
Yeah.
here, yeah.
And this was the most interesting review I read out of hundreds of reviews. No backup review.
Yeah, I think you need a message, Anna, and
Where is it?
if there's a way to message and just be like, hey,
You can't be headed out 4 stars and promising a review.
Anna, you've got 131 reviews, and I caught you slipping. We're going to. I think we just need to do one of these 5 stars.
Yeah, we'll just do one. I put a few in there, but just the one.
So we're going to the last one, a 5-star review, just to kind of cap off the end of this section really nicely, by Mary Lampe. This book was just so much fun to read. It triggered all the right emotions. Beautiful.
It was. And we go Mary Marie.
Yeah, whatever. They can't see the name.
Yeah. Mary or Mary.
However I pronounce it,
Yes.
that's what it is.
Mary and or Marie. This is an absolute banger of a review. And the only thing that about it is that certain words are tainted now, that if you include them in something positive, it can slant away from the true meaning. In the final sentence, quote, it triggered all the right emotions, unquote. Just the word triggered there makes triggered me to think, oh, what's coming next? Thankfully it was a couple of words, because that word made me think, oh, she's about to go off here about something she didn't like about the book after such a positive first
You were
sentence.
thinking this was woke in Japan.
Yes.
Not abroad in Japan.
Correct. I just think it elicited all the right emotions, may have been a better word. I just basically
you're just getting picky.
Basically, I just
Marie
think
is just in her for a good time.
potentially, but just do the work.
Or don't.
Or don't. Or just-
I'm pro no work.
just
so.
5 stars, no written review. But if you're going to write the
Yeah,
review, don't be throwing words in there that can just muddy the water. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Speaking of muddying the water, we're at the end. We made it for a third time.
We're not ending. I'm triggered.
You're triggered.
I'm triggered by your response to triggered.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to be. That's the thing. I'm like, that word could just so easily have not been there.
Yeah,
So,
yep.
just like this podcast today.
Yeah, it could not be here. And it shouldn't be, really.
but it is.
will, yeah. It will be there.
Just like grandma's miso soup, dungeons, all the things. It's just there.
Grandma soup wasn't, but
It should be.
yeah, it should be.
So if you want to reach out to us, please do. We'd love to hear your stories. If you've got any topics for Guesstimation Japan, the game as well, we'd love to hear those. We'll consider them. And yeah, all the contact details in the show notes to send us an email or write to us on Facebook or whatever. Thank you, Justin, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.